everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got the final game of this two-game series between the Reds and the Phillies. And the starting lineup for the visiting Cincinnati Reds, leading off playing center field Ed Rush, batting second playing third base Eddie Casco, batting third playing first base Ted Kulwinski, batting fourth playing right field Wally Post, batting fifth playing left field Frank Robinson, batting sixth doing the catching Ed Billy, batting seventh playing second base Lonnie Fry, batting eighth playing shortstop Roy McMillan, batting ninth and doing the pitching is Paul Derringer. And for the hometown Philadelphia Phillies, leading off playing center field Billy Hamilton, batting second playing left field Ed Delaney, batting third playing right field Chuck Klein, batting fourth playing first base Don Hurst, batting fifth doing the catching Spud Davis, batting sixth playing third base Pinky Whitney, batting seventh playing second base Francisco Thomas, batting eighth playing shortstop Piney Sand, and on the mound doing the pitching batting ninth is Bill Duggleby. Let's get down to the field and get this game started. And leading off for the Reds, Ed Rush, batting .373 with a homer and 11 RBIs. Bill Duggleby is on the mound making his third start. He's 2-0 with a 3 ERA. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Ed Rush is aboard here with the leadoff single for the Reds. And that'll bring up Eddie Casco now. And Eddie is batting .163. We're going to do a little hit and run here. Down to double play. And that's going to be a 17. And that's going to be a line drive. Make sure the runner doesn't get doubled up here. Nope, that's going to be a line drive right down the short. But Ed gets back. That'll be an L6. And now we got one out and the big clues up. Ted Kulwinski, he's batting .250 with one homer and one RBI. And that's going to be a pop up in the foul territory. Spud Davis makes the catch for out number 2. And Ken Castro joins us here. Let's go Phillies. I hear you, Ken. They're on a nice little roll, the Phillies are. They crushed the Reds in game number 1. And Wally Post is up now, batting .132 with 3 homers and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball. Back to the mound. Bill's up with it. He tosses it over to first. And the leadoff single goes nowhere. We go to the bottom of the first. Reds nothing. Phillies coming up with Hamilton, Delaney, and Klein. Billy Hamilton's batting .173 with a homer and 3 RBIs, but his on-base percentage, folks, is .368. He's walked 16 times to start this year off. And we got Paul Derringer on the mound, his third appearance. He's 0-2 with a 6.55 ERA. Here's the pitch to Billy. And that's going to be a base on ball. So Hamilton is down at first with nobody out. And Billy's probably going to take off running against this team. I'll say he is. Bailey doesn't have a great arm. Paul doesn't have a great move. So a 28. That'll be a 54 or lower. Billy Hamilton will steal his, I think, 14th base. Let's look. I think he's got 13 steals on the season. Let's see, 12 steals. So he's going for number 13, a 54 or lower. He's safe. And he's in there with a stolen base. So Billy Hamilton gets into scoring position now with nobody out for Ed Delaney. And Delaney's batting .407 on the year with 3 homers and 12 RBIs. And that's going to be a runner down at second. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. And let's see here. I think with nobody out, even with his speed, he's going to stop down at third. Let's check here. Move the calculator over here. Let's see what we got. So it was hit in the left field. That'll be a 37. And he's got a 36 arm out there, Frank Robinson. Yeah, with nobody out there, not going to chance it. So that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Hamilton will stop at third. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Ken. He is racking up the steals. So base hit in the left field. Like I say, with nobody out, Hamilton doesn't need to risk it. And you got Chuck Klein up, who is leading the National League in hitting with a .421 average with 3 homers and 18 RBI. And that's going to be a base on balls. They're not going to take no chances with Klein. So now the bases are juiced and still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. And the Reds cannot afford to have a pitcher knocked out of the game early like they did in the first game with Blackwell. Blackwell only went 2+ innings. They need for Paul to give them some innings. That bullpen's going to be tanked. You got Don Hurst up now. They're going to play back for the double play. Hurst is batting .231 with 3 homers and 12 RBI. Bases juiced here, and that's not good. That's going to be a 2-0 count on him with the bases full, and Paul cannot find the strike zone. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be with the infield back down to first. Lose a 3 on a 24, and that's going to be fielding column 1 with the defense back. That's going to be a 3-6-3 double play, but the run will score on the double play ball. Now you got a runner at third and Ed Delaney and 2 outs. So they can get out of this mess with only 1 run scoring. The Reds got to be happy here. Bases are loaded, nobody out. And now you got Spud Davis up. And Davis is batting .327 with 4 homers and 14 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Ed in center field. So the Reds dodge a bullet with bases loaded, nobody out. Only 1 run comes across. But the Phillies take a 1-0 lead into the second. We got Robinson, Bailey, and Fry due up here. And Frank, he's batting .255. He's got 4 homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. Bill walks in, not what you want with a 1-run lead. Walking the leadoff batter. That brings up Ed Bailey now. Bailey's hitting .206. He's got a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And you all of a sudden got first and second now for the Reds with nobody out. And that'll bring up Lonnie Fry. And now the Phillies need a ground ball double play here. Lonnie Fry is batting .241. No homers and 4 RBI. And that's going to be popped up behind home plate near the screen. Big out here for Bill. And Spud Davis takes the mask off, makes the catch. Now there's 1 out in first and second for McMillan. And Roy's batting .227. And he's got 1 homer and 8 RBI. And that's going to be a, let's see here, 16 on the catcher. And he's going to throw the runner out down at second. Spud Davis is nice job. So runner gets picked off at second. Let's see here. How do you do a catcher picking him off? Forget that. Give me 1 second here, guys. We'll do a pick off with the catcher. Give the catcher the assisted, not the pitcher. Get the right thing here. Get the catcher the pick off here. Pick C. That's all it is. All righty. So we'll do a pick C R2. So now there's 2 outs and a runner down at first. What a big difference that is now. And McMillan's still out the plate here. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Hamilton. That'll end the inning. So the Phillies get out of first 2 batters getting aboard and nobody scores. We go to the bottom of the second. It's still a 1-0 game. You got Whitney, Thompson, and Sandu up here, the bottom part of the order. And you can see the team comparisons. The Reds are 7-7. They've scored 58 runs on 14 homers and no stolen bases and no caught stealings. The Phillies are 8-5. They've scored 78 runs. They've hit 21 homers, stolen 17 bases, and been caught 6 times. Here's the pitch to Pinckney, batting .196 with a homer and 4 RBI. And Pinky hits this ball down to first. Big Clue takes it himself for out number 1. And Thompson's up now. And Thompson's batting .273. He's got 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Fry. 2 ground balls, 2 outs here in the second. And it's up to Heine Sand to get this 2-out rally started, batting $150 with no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the post. 1, 2, 3 goes to Phils. To the top of the third we go. And we got Derringer up, and then we're back to the top of the order. And Rush and Eddie. And Paul's batting .500 because we don't need no stinking DH. Pitch to Paul, and that's going to be a pop up down the short. Sand makes the call and the catch for out number 1. We're back to the top of the order and Ed Rush. And Rush, he singled to start off this game. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. Chuck Klein makes the catch for 2 down. And Eddie Casco's up now. And Casco is 0 for 1. He had a line shot down the short. Sand made a hell of a play to rob him of a hit. That's going to be a base on balls. Eddie's aboard here with 2 outs. And Big Clue's up now. Can he deliver here with a runner on at first? 2 outs. He popped up to Spud Davis in foul territory his first time up. And here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. They strike him out. That's the first strikeout of the game for Bill. And that ends the top of the third. To the bottom of the third we go. Bottom part of the order due up here for the Phillies. Duggleby, and then back to Hamilton and Delaney. And you can see that the Reds are batting .210 with a .270 on base percentage, a .364 slugging, and a .634 OPS. The Phillies are batting .256 with a .334 on base percentage, slugging of .412, and an OPS of .746. Here's the pitch to Bill. He is batting .200, no homers and 1 RBI on the year. And that's going to be a 18. That's going to be a ground ball. Nice play down there by McMillan. Goes deep in the hole, throws over and gets Bill by a step for out number 1. And we're back to the top of the order. Hamilton walked, stole the base, and came around to score the only run back in the first. And that's going to be a 60. That's going to be an infield hit for Billy Hamilton. You know what that means. He's going to be off to the races again. If memory serves me correct, it was a 54 for him, or lower for him to be safe. Let's see here, 28, yep, a 54 or lower. He's going to steal his second base of the game here. And he's in there with his second stolen base of the game. And again, he's in scoring position. So Hamilton down at second. And Delaney's up here. And Delaney singled, drove Hamilton over to third his first time up. Can he do it again? He dropped not one, but two dice. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Let's see if Hamilton can get over the first here. Third round, 26. Runner on second. And sorry, that's going to be a pop-up down the third, not a ground ball. And Hamilton's going to stay put at second. Now it's going to take a 2-out hit by Klein to drive him in. And Chuck, he walked his first time up. He delivered here, folks. And that's going to be a 14. And that is going to be a single into left field. Let's see here. Single in the left field with 2 outs. So I have to re-roll a die here. And that's going to be a 48 minus the 36. We're going to send him, I can tell you that. It's just what's percentage here? 31. So a 61 or lower, Hamilton's going to be safe. 61 or lower. And he's in there. So an RBI single for Mr. Klein. And it's a 2-0 game. So Billy Hamilton and his stealing is definitely paying off, folks. It's a 2-0 game because of getting in scoring position as Doug Hunt joins us here. So they double their fun, double their pleasure, double the lead with double mint gum. And Don Hurst is up now. Don, he grounded into the 3-6-3 double play his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Fry. He fires over to first to end the inning. But the Phillies add another run and lead this game 2-0 as we go to the fourth. We got Post, Robinson, and Bailey due up here. And Wally grounded out to the pitcher's first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out center field. Hamilton makes the catch for out number 1. Now to bring up Frank Robinson up with 1 out and nobody on. And Frank walked his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And that'll be out number 2. 2 fly balls, 2 outs. See if Ed Delaney can get in on the act, and all 3 outfielders make a put out. And Bailey singled his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Pinky at third. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the fourth we go. 2-0 Philadelphia. You got Davis, Whitney, and Thompson due up. Spud flew out the center his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Frank Robinson makes the catch for out number 1. And here comes Pinky up now. Whitney, he's 0 for 1. He grounded out the first. Back in the second. And that's going to be a base hit through first. Big Clue can't get to that one. That'll be a single in the right field. So Pinky down at first with 1 out for Thompson. Can the Phillies add to this 2-0 lead here? Thompson grounded out the second his first time out. 1 out and 1 on. And Thompson squares this one up, folks. See where this ball is going to land at. And that ball is going to be hit into left field. And Pinky's going to stop at second. So we got first and second now, 1 out. And Mr. Sand's going to be up. Can he deliver here? Driving a insurance run. And Heine is 0 for 1. He flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And actually, it's going to be a pop-up down the second. Infield fly and a rule in effect. And that'll be out number 2. So it's up to Duggleby to do some damage himself. And Bill grounded out the short his first time up. And that's going to be a 27, a ground ball down the third. He'll go the short way over the second, Eddie will. And that'll end the inning. We go to the top of the fifth. The Phillies straying 2, but still lead this game 2-0. You got Fry due up, followed by McMillan and Derringer, bottom part of the order. Lonnie's 0 for 1. He popped up to Davis his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. So the tying run comes to the plate now. And McMillan, with nobody out here, looking for the double play if you're a Phillies fan. And Mack, he flew out the center field his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And a runner might get over the second on this one. 53 on the 7. I would think that's filling column 3. And it is. So the runner's going to get down the second. So the only play is a 4-3 put out. So now the runner's in scoring position. And Paul's up the bat. And let's see here. Paul's batting .333 on the year. We're going to let him swing away instead of trying to bunt him down the third. He popped up the shortest first time up. And that's going to be another pop-up. This one again down the short. Sand makes the catch. Can't quite square it up. That's 2 down. Runner still down there at second. We're back to the top of the order in Eddie Rush. And the Reds need a 2-out hit here to get a run on the board. And Eddie singled in the first, flew out in the third. And that's going to be a 19. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And Bill's got it. He tosses it over to Hurst. And that'll end the inning. Red strand 1. We got the top of the order due up here in the bottom of the 5th. Hamilton, Delaney, and Klein. And Billy's 1 for 1. He's walked and singled, stolen 2 bases, and came around the score twice. Here's the pitch to Billy. And then they're finally going to get him out. A lazy fly ball in the left field. Robinson makes the catch for out number 1. And that brings up Ed Delaney now. And Delaney's 1 for 2. He singled and popped up to third. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. Where's this one going to end up at? And that ball is high. That ball is far. Kiss it goodbye. Ed Delaney, with his 4th home run of the year, makes this a 3-0 ball game. Cool. Awesome, Ken. Awesome. And now we got Chuck Klein up. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI single in the third and walked in the first. And he gets a hold of this. Man, Phillies are a hitting machine here early in the year, folks. And that ball is back to back jacks, folks. As Klein takes that ball in the right field. And it's now a 4-0 lead. Derringer gets blasted with back-to-back home runs. Let's see if this one ends up in Don Hurst's ear. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Post's got room out there for this one. And that'll be out number 2. Yeah, he is a beast. Like I say, leading the league in average. He's right up there with homers. Yeah, he's having a hell of a great start to the year. Now you got Spud Davis. He's flown out the center and left. 2 outs, nobody left. And that'll end the inning, I would imagine. Let's see here. 17. Nope, that's going to be an infield hit for Spud Davis. He puts on the Jets. Makes it down to first. How about that? So Davis down at first. And 1 out. Didn't see that coming. An infield hit from him. And Whitney's up now. He singled in the 4th and grounded out. Previous at bat, and he's not done with this hitting machine. He squares it up. And that's going to be a single in the right field. And with Davis's speed, he's going to stay put at second, even with 2 outs. So now it's 1st and 2nd, 2 outs for Thompson. And they've already played at 2 runs here in this 5th inning to take a 4-0 lead. And Thompson's 1 for 2. He singled back in the 4th, grounded out in the 2nd. And that'll end the inning. That's a fly ball out to center. But the back-to-back home runs by Delaney and Klein makes it a 4-0 ball game as we go to the 6th inning. You got Casco, Big Clue, and Toastu up here. The Reds need to get some runs on the board here. They want to get back in this game with this part of the order up, I would think. Eddie's 0 for 1. He had a line drive down the short that Sand robbed of a hit, and he walked. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Thompson. And that'll be out number 1. And Big Clue grabs the bat now. Comes up to the plate, 0 for 2, popped up and struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Bill. He tosses over to Hurst for out number 2. 2 easy outs here in the top of the 6th. It's up to Wally Post to get something going. Post is grounded out and flown out. And he does blast this ball into the right field wall, off the wall for a 2-out double. Post down at second here for Frank Robinson. I think they need to play the run here. And Frank's 0 for 1. He's walked and flown out the right. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field again. Klein got room. He says he's got it and does. And that's the end of the top of the 6th. The Reds stand 1 to the bottom of the 6th we go. And the bottom part of the order due up here for the Phils. Sand, Duggleby, and Hamilton due up. And Heine is 0 for 2. He's flown out and popped up to second. And not this time. He squares this one up, folks. Heine's going to get a base hit here. That's going to be a double in the right field. So a leadoff double for the Phillies. And they're in business already, folks. In the right field. So Sand down at second. And Bill's up. He's going to try to bunt him over to third. Get him in the scoring position here. Well, get him 1 base away. 30. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Eddie. Only play is going to be over to first with Big Clue covering. And that'll get the runner down to third. Now with 1 out, a sacrifice fly or a pass ball or a wild pitch of scoring. And we got Billy Hamilton, who's having a great game. 1 for 2. He's stolen 2 bases and scored twice. And he's walked. And that's going to be a ground ball. And they got to get the infield in. It's going to be a ground ball down to third with the infield in. Actually, it's going to be a pop-up down to third. Let's see. 41 on a 4. Let's make sure. 41 on a 4. That'll be fielding column 2. And that's going to be a ground ball down to third, but he looks Sand back to third. Fires over to first. Now there's 2 outs. And the runner's still down there 90 feet away for Ed Delaney. See if Delaney can make this a 5-0 ball game. He hit that home run his last time up. He's 1 for 2, singled and popped up. And that's going to be 16. That's going to be a base hit in the left field. That'll score Sand. And it's a 5-0 ball game. Ed Delaney having a hell of a game. He's 3 for 4. 2 RBIs now. Here comes Klein up now with a runner down at first and 2 outs. They want Paul to get through this inning because I think he's due up in the bottom of the 6th. Chuck Klein's 2 for 2. He's walked. He's hit a homer, and he's had an RBI single. And that's going to be a 16. That's going to be another base hit. So Chuck Klein's aboard here with an infield hit. And all of a sudden here, Paul can't get this all-important third out. First and second and 2 outs. And we got Don Hurst up now. Hurst is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. And that'll be a fly ball out to Ed in center field. But the Phillies score 1, take a 5-0 lead into the top of the 7th. You got Bailey, Fry, and McMillan. And most likely, if something, they don't get the Derringer spot, they're going to probably make a double switch here. He's definitely not pitching the bottom of the 7th. And Bailey's 1 for 2. He singled and grounded out. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. So Bailey's aboard here with a leadoff single. And Lonnie Fry comes up to the plate. And Fry, he is 0 for 1 today. He's walked and popped up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. 46 and a 2. Let's see. That's barely fielding column 1. And he's going to spin around, fire down to second. He's going to get the lead runner. Nice play by Bill. The 1-6 put out. So now you got Fry down at first with 1 out and McMillan up. And Mac's going to do a little hit and run here, trying to stay out of the double play. And that's going to be a 32. Hit and run. It's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Fry gets back. Now there's 2 down. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Paul. See who's going to come off the bench. Try to get a run across here in the 7th, down by 5. And Gus Bell's going to come off the bench. He's going to try to ring the bell. Ring my bell. Gus, the patriarch of the Bell family here. See if he can get something going with 1 out and a runner, 2 outs and a runner down at first. Gus is batting .333, no homers and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Hamilton's out there. And let's see, that should be fielding column 1. 21. Yep, that'll be fielding column 1. And that's going to be a single into center field, runner to second. So Hamilton can't get to it. And that'll be a base hit for Gus Bell. He keeps the inning alive here. Back to the top of the order we go. And Ed Rush. And Ed is 1 for 3, singled back in the first, flown out and grounded out. And he gets a hold of this, folks. That ball is driven down the first baseline. And that's going to be a double and score Fry. Let's see if Bell can score from first with 2 outs here. So a nice piece of hitting by Ed Rush. That'll be a 52 minus a 32 plus an 11. 31. I think that's a 61 or lower. Bell's going to be safe at the plate. And he's safe. So that's a 2 RBI double. 2 RBI double for Mr. Rush. And he makes this a 3-run ball game, folks. That's going to get the bullpen up here for the Phillies here. As Beetle joins us here. So all of a sudden now, it's a 5-2 ball game with a runner down at second and 2 outs. All this coming with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And Eddie's 0 for 2. He's lined out to short, walked, and grounded out. And that's going to be a catcher, 45 on a 7. And that'll be fielding column 2. Balk, runner to third. If he's a BK0, it's a rare play. So that's going to be a rare play with a runner down at second on a 39. Re-roll a dice here. 42 on a 39. That'll be hit down. That'll be back out in front of the mound again. And a 32 on a 7. That'll be fielding column 2. Strike, runner throws. Catcher throws a wild attempt, pick off to second, runner to third. If either team leads by more than 3, make it a foul out. By more than 3, it's not. So the runner will get down to third on the wild throw. Let's see here. Wild throw. What would be a wild throw here? Let's look at a pickoff here and see if they got a wild throw for a pickoff. So we'll just do a pickoff. Be an error on the catcher. So we'll do a pickoff. E, C, 1 base. 1 base. See if that works. Nope, it doesn't like that. So let's see if it does this. Pick off. Pick. E2, 1 base. Doesn't like that either. So you. Okay. So it wants a pick off C, runner on second, E, C. See if he gets down the third that way. Yep, there we go. So now we got a runner down at third. Still 2 outs, and Eddie's still at the plate. So we got it right there, folks. Got it right. And now here's the pitch to Eddie with a runner down there. And that's going to be the 0-1 pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Klein for out number 3. But the Reds score 2 and make this a ball game again, folks. It's 5-2. So we go to the 7th inning stretch here. And I think Pete Donahue coming out of the bullpen. Let's see here. You got the righty, a righty due up. Yeah, they're all righties due up. So Pete Donahue is going to come out of the pen instead of Van Meer. So Pete comes out of the pen. And this is Donahue's 4th appearance. No record and no earned run yet. And he'll be facing the bottom part of the order here. Well, actually the middle part of the order. Davis, Whitney, and Thompson. Spud's 1 for 3. Singled and flown out twice. And he gets a hold of this one against Pete. Welcome to the game, Pete Donahue. And that's going to be a 16. That's going to be a double in the third baseline. That drops in, and he's standing down at second. So Spud's down at second and nobody out. Time to get them runs right back. And Pinky Whitney's up now. He's having a good game. 2 singles and a ground out. And he gets a hold of this, folks. And they're going to get at least one of these runs back, I would think. And maybe more, as that ball is blasted in, I think, left field. Let me look here. sure I got the right field. Deep center field. And that ball is over Ed Rush's head. And Whitney's going to be running for a while, folks. And he's a brown-eyed, handsome man. And since Beatles is in the house, that's a triple, folks. And that is now a 6-2 ball game with a runner on third and nobody out. And Pete Donahue might have the questions, but he don't have the answers here today. As he's getting lit up. They're going to bring the infield in. And Thompson's up. He's 1 for 3. He is singled, grounded out, and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. With the infield in, that's going to be a line drive double play. So that ball was smashed down the fry right on the button. Had to catch it just to defend himself. And they double up the runner at third. What a big play by the Reds. So now there's nobody on and 2 outs here in the 7th. And we got Heine up. Sand is 1 for 3. He's doubled, came around to score, flown out and popped up. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Donahue's not fooling nobody, but that ball was hit right on the money. And the way Bill was pitching, we're going to let him stay in here. Gave up that rough inning, but up until then, he was cruising through. So we got a runner at first, and Bill's up. He's 0 for 2. He has grounded into a force play and had a sacrifice bunt. And that's going to be a pop-up down the short. McMillan makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. But the Phillies score 1, make it a 4-run lead as we go to the top of the 8th. And you can see the Reds' upcoming schedule. They go on the road to St. Louis, and then after 3 games in St. Louis, they're going to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. You got Big Clue, Post, and Robinson due up here. Big Clue's 0 for 3. He has popped up, struck out, and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Klein in right field for out number 1. And Wally Post grabs the bat and comes up to the plate. He's doubled, grounded out, and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Thompson. 2 quick outs here in the 8th. And up to the plate steps Frank Robinson. And Robinson's 0 for 2 with a walk, and he's flown out the right twice. And that's going to be a fly ball this time out to the other corner and left. And Delaney makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes the Reds. To the bottom of the 8th we go. And the top of the order due up here. Billy Hamilton's 1 for 3. He's got 2 stolen bases and came around to score twice. And that's going to be another base on balls. And he's still going to be taken off here with a 4-run lead. They're not feeling that safe with this. So Hamilton, again, it's a 54 or lower. Will be straight down there at second, and he's in there easily. No throw. No throw was even made. Billy Hamilton with his 3rd stolen base of the game. So now you got a runner down at second. Nobody out. For Delaney, who is having an awesome game. He's 3 for 4. He has singled. He's hit a homer. And he had an RBI single in the 6th. And that's going to be a base on balls for Eddie. So he's walked the first 2 batters here. Pete has, and that brings up Chuck Klein, who is leading the National League in hitting. He's batting .450. He's 3 for 3 today with a 2-run homer. He has an RBI single in the 3rd. He singled in the 6th and walked in the 1st. The Reds need a big ground ball here, and that is going to be hit down the 3rd. Can they go around the horn is the question. That is the question. And nope, the only place down at second. And that'll be it. They'll get the force play. He'll go to short way. 5-4 put out. So now you got runners on the corners for Don Hurst. And I think you got to bring the infield in. You're down by 4. You can't let this game get any worse. Hurst is 0 for 4. He's grounded out twice and flown out twice. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And Post makes the catch out there. And see if they're going to be able to tag up here with Hamilton. He should be able to score easy, but we'll make sure here. I don't want to assume anything here. It was a what? Fly ball out the right field will be a 49. And Post does have a good arm, but Hamilton's speed, it should be no throw, and there's not going to be a throw. That's a sacrifice fly by Hurst out the right. And that makes it a 5-run ball game, folks. It is now 7-2, and the Reds couldn't afford that. Going into the top of the ninth now, you got Davis up 2 outs and a runner down at first. And Spud Davis is having a damn good game. He's 2 for 4. He's doubled and singled. And that'll be another ground ball down the third. Eddie's going to go over to second again. That'll end the inning, but the sacrifice fly scores 1. We get to the top of the ninth. It's 7-2. And they're going to try to get Bill through this game here. He's got Bailey, Fry, and McMillan due up here. And he's got a 5-run lead now. Bailey's 2 for 3. He singled twice and grounded out. And that's going to be a rare play, a 38 and a 52. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Bailey. And he's going to hit that ball out in front of the plate. 42 and a 7. And I'll be fielding column 2. Matter of fact, that's a swing and a miss. Bailey swings and misses. Davis drops the ball, has to fire down to first to get him, but he's out of there on strikes. So now there's 1 out. Nobody on for Fry. And Lonnie's 0 for 2. He's walked, ground out, and he has popped up. And that's going to be a 15. That's going to be an infield hit. Fry's aboard here with a 1-out base hit. And McMillan's up now. Let's see if Matt can keep this merry-go-round going here. Put another $1 in the merry-go-round. Roy is 0 for 3. He's flown out twice and grounded out. And that's going to be a 18. That's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And 55 and a 2. I think that's going to be fielding column number 3. Yeah. And runner will go to second. Only play will be the first. Take the Shore out here with a 5-run lead. And we'll have a pitch hitter here for Donahue. And the Reds are down to the last out here. See who's going to come off the bench. I think Hatton's going to come off the bench. He's got a little more pump than Goodman. Little more pop than Goodman. You know what? I changed my mind. They need more than 2 runs. So Goodman's going to come out of the dugout. Goodman's coming out. Try to get a base hit. They need base runners along with runs. So Goodman's coming out of the dugout. Trying to keep this game alive here for the Reds. And Goodman's hitting 286 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Delaney. He waits for it to come down, makes the catch. And that's going to end this ball game, folks. The Reds are going to lose this game 7-2. And the Phillies sweep them here at home. Take a look here at the box score. See what this is. Probably about Billy's stolen bases. Yep. Hamilton with his 3 stolen bases. That's what the star is for. 15 on the year, Ken. 15 stolen bases for Billy Hamilton. And you got the Phils, 7 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. The Reds, 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Ed Rush was 2 for 4, and Ed Bailey 2 for 4. He was 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Left 7 men on base. Look at those 2. The top 3. You had Hamilton with a single and 2 walks. Delaney 3 for 4. Chuck Klein 3 for 4. The top of the order just did them in. And then Whitney was 3 for 4. You had Delaney and Klein with these back-to-back homers. And Phillies were 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They still left 10 men on base. Paul Derringer drops to 0-3, 6 innings, 12 hits, 5 runs, walked 2, struck out 2. And Pete Donahue comes in, 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks. And Bill Duggleby goes to 3-0, goes the distance, 9 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And let's take a look here at the leaderboard and the standings for the National League. And you can see the Giants are now only a half a game up on the Phillies. The Cubbies are 2.5 games back. You got the Braves, Dodgers, and Reds all 3 games back. And Beatles, Pirates are 3.5 games back. And the Cardinals are 4.5 games back. As the Phillies have went on a 6-game winning streak, Ken. I knew they was hot. Won 6 in a row. And look at that. 2 guys hitting over 400 is one reason. Klein hitting 443 to lead the National League. I think that leads the major leagues. Yeah, at 443 leads the major leagues in hitting. And as a matter of fact, Ed Delaney's 431 would also lead the American League. So they are hitting the cover off the ball, those 2 boys. And Hamilton, with his walks, is getting on base for him. You got 3 guys tied with 7 homers, Adcock, Lindstrom, and Mays. And Chuck Klein is now taken over the RBI lead with 20 RBIs on the year. And Dazzy Vance with a 1.62 ERA leading the National League. And now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers with 3 wins. Duggleby adds to it. Noodles, Nichols, Rossi, and Vance. And Marv Grissom with 4 saves on the year. And Chuck Klein is now taking over the MVP lead. And Dazzy Vance is still leading with the Best Pitcher Award. Let's see what the next game will be here in the Bats League. It'll be an American League game. I think it's the Tigers and the A's. I believe that's what the next game will be. Let's see here. Because this wasn't a 3-game. Nope, this was only a 2-game series. Yeah, it'll be the A's in Detroit. Chance and Doss looks like it'll be the pitching matchup there. See how many game series that is. 1, 2, 3. That's a 3-game series between the A's and the Tigers. Yeah, it was a good game, wasn't it? Those Phillies, like I say, they're hitting the cover off the ball. And Hamilton getting on base. Let's take a look here. Do the backup before I forget. First, let's take a look at the reports here. Do the team batting here. Let's see, Phillies with runs. The Phillies are what, fourth with runs, but darn, you got the Braves, Dodgers, and Giants ahead of them in runs, but batting average, it shouldn't be no contest. They should be leading the league. Look at that, a 269 batting average. 269. The Braves are with a 253. And what about their on base percentage? That should be way up there. A 345 on base percentage. The closest team is the Dodgers with a 319. Yep. Homers. I'm sure that stinking Dodgers are leading with homers. Yep. Dodgers with 32 homers in the National League. Braves are 23. And the Dodgers and Phillies with 20. Stolen bases, it's a runaway. It's a runaway. Phillies with 20 stolen bases. Next team is 5 with the Dodgers. And 15 out of those 20 is Billy Hamilton. So Billy Hamilton's got more stolen bases than any team in the National League. Let's take a look at the pitching staff. Phillies pitching ain't bad either. Let's see here. You got the Cubbies with a 3.4 ERA. And the Phillies are right there, what, fourth in the league with a 4.05? Not bad. Not bad. Let's see, complete games here. Got the Reds with 6 complete games, the Phillies with 3. How many shutouts? The Braves have 2 shutouts, and the Dodgers and Reds have 1. See who's given up the least amount of homers. The Giants have given up only 12 homers. You got the Phillies, Pirates, and Reds giving up 16. See who's leading with strikeouts. Got the Braves leading with 68 strikeouts. Then the Cardinals, Cubs, and Giants are tied. Dodgers, Phillies, and Reds. And the poor Pirates only got 26 strikeouts, Beatles. The Pirates, that's what's doing them in. At 5.66 ERA, doing the Pirates in. Let's take a look at the Pirates hitting here, since Beatles is in the house. And the Pirates are batting 242 on the year. Only 9 home runs. They scored 58 runs. Remember, they was off to a hell of a start. They got off to a hell of a start. Let's see here with the standings. They've lost like 4 in a row, if I remember right. They've lost 5 in a row, Beagles. Yeah. So at one time they was 5-2. Lost 5 in a row. 1 on a skid. They was leading the National League early in the year. Well, still early. Still early in the year. Giants with that big run differential. Yeah, it's going to be rough on those Orioles. I agree. Yep. I'm surprised with the Cardinals. The Cardinals had lost like 5 in a row before they won 2 in a row. The Cardinals couldn't buy a win there for a while. Yeah, the Orioles have lost 6 in a row. One time they was above 500. Yep. Let's see who they played. That's right. That's the worst part. I got to make them a favorite team in order to do that. That's one thing he's got to fix. So I got to make the Orioles a favorite, or you can't see their schedule. So let's see who they've lost to. Go back to reports and schedule. I'm not sure if I am or not, Ken. I don't know how hard it would be to put an all-star team together into this. So they lost 3 games to the Yankees. Oh, no wonder they're playing the Tigers and the Yankees. Lost 3 games to the Yankees and 3 games to the Tigers. That's what got them on that skid. Yep, no wonder. Let's see, 11-0, 7-3. That was a close game. 6-4. Yankees 13-5. There's a close one. 4-2. Then a 7-2 ball game for the Orioles. Let's see, and we'll take the Orioles off of here and put Beatles Pirates on and see who they've been losing to. Yeah, let's see who the Pirates have been losing to. That's the Yankees schedule. That's the Braves schedule. There's the Pirates. So they've lost to the Phillies, then the stinking Giants, then the Dodgers. See who they've lost to. They lost 1 game to the Phillies, 2 games to the Giants, 2 games to the Dodgers. No, Robert, I hear you. Yeah, I'll mute myself on that too, Ken, buddy. I'll mute myself. Well, I'll get off here, guys. Beatles is going to do a 1911 game. Go over to his channel and check that out. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out, hit that like button and leave a comment. And like I say, the next game, go back here, will be the A's in Philadelphia taking on, well, no, I think it's in Detroit. Let's see here. I think it's in Detroit. I think the Philadelphia A's will be going to Detroit to take on the Tigers. Oh, not until later, buddy? Oh, I thought you was going to do it now. I apologize. Beetle says not until later. So, yes, the A's at Detroit. Until next time, you all have a great day, and you all take care.